Woman is horrified to realize her daughter is destined to become a ruthless killer, all because she found a diary from the future in the attic, one that detailed the entire process of her daughter's crimes. The story begins a week earlier. Olga and her adorable daughter moved into a new home, but late one night, a loud thud suddenly echoed from upstairs. Olga followed the sound to the attic. She found a wooden crate there that had appeared out of nowhere. Its owner seemed to have a compulsive need for order. Arranging the items inside with meticulous precision, Olga picked up the diary in the corner and began to flip through it. But what she read sent a chill down her spine. The detailed account of a psychopathic killer torturing his victims to death. Just reading it made her feel as if she were right there in the scene. Terrified, Olga hurriedly tossed the wooden box aside. But when she returned to continue cleaning the attic, the scene before her left her speechless. Olga rushed downstairs to the trash bin to investigate. Just then, her ex-husband, Victor, called. It turned out their daughter had cut her palm while playing, although Olga was furious. Thankfully, her daughter's injury wasn't too serious, since the cause of the eerie wooden box remained a mystery. Olga had her daughter stay at her ex-husband's place for the time being. Back home, Olga called her lover, Carlos. They went up to the attic, but the moment he opened the wooden box, Olga felt dizzy again, and a ghostly image flashed before her eyes. The dust covers and operating table all around seemed to be the crime scene described in the diary. Carlos identified several victims, but he couldn't find any information about them online. It was as if these diaries were just a prank, but Carlos felt the descriptions in the diaries were extremely detailed, even if they weren't first-hand accounts. The author must have been constantly consumed by the desire to kill. Just as Olga was at a loss, Carlos mentioned that he had a friend with a dual degree in graphology and psychology. The next day, they met with Carlos's friend. From the handwriting, the expert determined that the writer was likely a woman in her 40s. Her words were filled with anguish. It seemed as though someone very close to her had betrayed her, yet there was nothing in the text to confirm her identity. The expert then noted, the diary's owner must have had an injury to her hand. Her grip on the pen differed from that of most people, and the handwriting appeared to have been written very recently. Olga was on the verge of breaking down. Could it be that they had been living with a murderer? But upon returning home, the vision struck again. A woman in black walked into her bedroom. In a panic, Olga bumped her head against the doorframe. Carlos pressed his hand against the wound on her forehead. He then cautiously entered the bedroom, but it was empty. In the brief moment he turned away, Carlos realized Olga was nowhere to be found. It turned out she had gone back up to the attic. To their horror, they discovered that one of the unsolved cases had somehow developed a new twist. Could the killer be lurking inside the house? Moreover, Olga noticed an illustration in the diary that clearly depicted herself. Even the location of the wound on her forehead was identical. Things were getting stranger by the minute. In the diary, there was a victim named Martin, who was being tortured but hadn't died yet. Olga found a menu and realized Martin was the owner of a restaurant. Following this clue, they went to the restaurant to ask about his whereabouts. However, this Martin turned out to be a little boy. The diary stated that Martin died at the age of 32. Could this diary really be from the future? That would mean the deceased is currently just a child, and the killer hasn't grown up yet either. Back at home, Olga was horrified to discover her daughter